Hello, thank you for tuning in to FYNTV.com. This is the Katy Sissine Show, and I'm your host, Katy Sissine. So it's a very exciting week after the inauguration of President Trump for myself and my fellow conservatives. This is a red state, so I do know many more conservatives than liberals, thankfully. That's actually very convenient, especially for the show today, because we're going to have another caller. And he's going to tell you a little bit about his opinion on Mr. Trump. Now, as you know, there were some violent protests, and we want to get his word on that. And there's also a women's march the day after the inauguration and the protests and everything about marching to promote the inclusion of minorities, the LGBTQ, the Muslims, etc., other minorities. And my question is, are they even accomplishing anything? So I've got David here on the line. Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, hey.
Great. This is David from Woodstock, Georgia. He is a proud Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I am.
When did you begin to support Trump? Because I remember you were supporting Trump long before I was. I mean, was this in the primaries when you knew he was your candidate, or when you first heard he was going to run?
I've always been a fan of Donald Trump. I followed him when he was doing his TV show, and I know he had talked about running in 2012, and I always thought it'd be something that would help our country to have someone that wasn't your typical politician, trying to run for office, and I always felt like he would have a good chance because he's always been successful in business and everything he's done. So I was really happy when he decided to run, but I still kept an open mind, and I looked at all the candidates, and I would say him and Ted Cruz were probably my top two. But I really made the full commitment to Trump probably around January of this past year. And then I went to the Trump rally in Atlanta, and that sealed the deal. I was 100% on board.
Great. So for about a year now.
Yep, about a year.
You're a true fan. I wouldn't call you a bandwagoner. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than that, I must admit. And Mr. David here definitely helped convince me that this is the correct way, that this is the right direction we need to be going in. And I thank you, David, for that. Just don't let it go to your head. So what would you like to say to those protesters out there who violently protested the Trump inauguration instead of supporting him for their own country? And let's bear in mind that the protests in 2008 and 2012 against Obama did not get violent like this. So what do you have to say to those people?
I would say just stop. I mean, they're not accomplishing anything by turning violent and, bashing windows and lighting cars on fire in the streets. I mean, that's just committing crimes. I mean, that's not even a protest at that point. So,
right.
While I do respect people's right to protest peacefully, I think we could all look. We just had MLK Day this past week. I think everyone should use him as an example on how to protest the correct way to get things done.
Yeah, great point there. You're totally right.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't associate with anyone if they used violence. So, and they actually accomplished their goals. And I would say, I mean, they're basically committing felonies out there, bashing windows in, and it makes. I think that's one of the reasons Trump actually won the election, is because people were tired of seeing these riots and the lawlessness and the lack of law and order, and President Obama jumping to conclusions on so many different controversial issues like Ferguson and Baltimore, the Baltimore case and things like that, that he would jump to conclusions and basically fuel up his base to get violent, and it turned out that he was wrong on so many of these cases. So I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath and relax, and if you don't like something he does actually once he's actually passing laws and signing off on things, that's fine to protest that. But I mean, the man hasn't even He hasn't even been in office a week, and
they're already blaming him. They're already blaming him for everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he hasn't done anything yet. So
And now we've got
crazy.
this. Yeah, now we've got this women's march going on at the Capitol, and marching for the inclusion of minorities and everything like that. Now, what's the point of this? I mean, aren't we past this already? I mean, have we not deemed every?
It's interesting because I have not seen a Republican candidate, especially in my lifetime, but even my parents would probably agree with this, since Nixon passing the affirmative action laws. I haven't seen a Republican be so outspoken in favor of helping the minorities in the inner cities and LGBT rights and all that. So I
Right.
don't know what they're trying to say and about Donald Trump, who's on their side of the argument, and they're protesting him, acting like he's going to take away their rights. And he's been very outspoken. He's laid out a plan for a new deal for Black Americans, and I mean, he really wants to help. He wants to be the president for all people, regardless of if you're gay, straight,
Right.
transgender. It doesn't matter to him. So I don't know what their argument is.
Right. It's all about being an American citizen. To him, if you're an American
Right,
citizen, you are in the same boat. We are on the same team. And it's like the liberals can't come to terms with this. They're so stuck in the notion that America needs to be saving the world. And what they're forgetting is that we need to protect our own nation first. How do you feel about this? Are they afraid of nationalism? Are they afraid that, what's up with that? I just don't.
Well, I would say the term nationalism has been kind of skewed by the liberal media, and just liberals in general have tied nationalism to the KKK and white nationalist groups that are violent, and that's the actual definition of nationalism is not that. I mean, it's having pride in your country, and I think that's what Donald Trump is bringing. He wants to help fix our problems before spending trillions of dollars on fixing other countries' issues. And he's stated multiple times he doesn't want to nation build. He doesn't want to go into wars over, political wars, basically, like we politicize wars. The war in Iraq got politicized. He wants to, fix our country, get our jobs back. And he hasn't even been in office a week, and he already has companies wanting to, invest in America and bring jobs back here. And I think that's the form of nationalism that he is using. And I don't know why they would be afraid of that, but it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's more like a patriotism thing, I think, is the way Donald Trump looks at it.
Right. So I really hope that people who are protesting Trump and who aren't supporting him and who are bashing him without anything to back that up, I really hope that they look back on what they're doing now, and they maybe feel a little bit of remorse, and that they realize that Trump is looking out for them, and that they appreciate that, because at the end of the day, we really do need to protect our nation and defend our nation and those who are within it to the utmost ability, to ensure our own individual security of our closest friends and our closest family. And maybe that's selfish, but that's just the way it's been for centuries, and I don't see it changing. So I think it's just about, we need to make people understand that nationalism is a good thing, and they have just demonized the term. So anyway, David, I just want to thank you for calling in on the show today, and we hope you stay tuned in, and I hope you have a great day.
Alrighty, thank you. Yeah, anytime. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hope to have you back on the show soon.
Alrighty, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So we've had a few callers already. There's a pretty common consensus that the protests are pointless. They're not accomplishing anything. And David brought up a really good point by stating that, we just had MLK Day. And yet the same people who admire and idolize MLK are out there violently protesting against Trump, something that MLK would never associate himself with. So there's so much hypocrisy, and I always talk about the incongruencies of the Liberal Party, and that goes to show a great example of one of them. We shouldn't have people, violently protesting who support people who stood for the exact opposite, such as these protesters out there who were just acting juvenile during the inauguration. And when they should have been following the parade, and they should have been supporting their new commander-in-chief who's going to lead their nation. I mean, I don't know what we call it, we're calling it like a nation divided, like we are now a nation divided, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think everyone wants to feel like, I think it all comes down to feeling like you believe in something and stand for something. And people have forgotten that they can believe in America and they can believe in their nation. Everyone's gotten so caught up in believing in the whole world unified as one, and one system of government and one system of judgment that the UN has manifested. But what they need to remember for their own safety is that nationalism is a good thing, and they should be proud of their nation, and they should want to support their nation first and foremost. And like I said to David, in order to protect their closest family and friends. Now, moving on, I don't know how we're doing on timing at the moment. It looks like we're about to go to a close. Now, we're going to go into a slightly new topic here. Obama has left the office with a high approval rating. To me, this is very surprising. He's leaving with a comparably high approval rating. And I just, with all the lack of progress concerning ISIS, and with the failure of the Affordable Care Act, I don't understand how he's leaving office with a high approval rating. Well, I didn't. So then I began to research, and I started to come to some conclusions and some very odd facts here. So we're going to go over those as soon as we return on the Katy Sissine Show on FYNTV.com. And you can email me at Katy@FYNTV, and follow me on Twitter at Katy. You can follow me on Twitter at KatyFYNTV, and email me at Katy@FetcherNews.com. Thank you, and stay tuned in.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show. I'm your host, Katy Sissine, and we're going to take another call here from another Trump supporter, and we are going to see how he feels about the election, the protesters, and also we're going to get into a new topic, Obama's high approval rating. On his way out of office, his comparably high approval rating. So here's Mike from Woodstock, a Trump supporter. Hi, Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Katie. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, anytime, just call in. We also have t-shirts to give out to our most educated guests. So depending on how you do, we might be able to give you a free t-shirt.
That would be great.
All right, well, we always appreciate your enthusiasm. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions now. I know you're a Trump supporter and you're originally from Pennsylvania. Have you always been conservative?
No, I was probably in my younger years, I was probably more Democratic leaning, but as you get older and mature, you kind of see that the liberal agenda just really doesn't help people. That I'm a business owner, and just the liberal policies just don't help small business owners.
Right. Yes, I forgot to say Mike is a small business owner of what's the name? It's Atlanta Office Source Furniture, right?
Easy Office Furniture,
Easy,
Marietta, Georgia.
yes, Easy Office Furniture, Marietta, Georgia, located off of Delk Road.
1095 Cobb Parkway South.
Oh, Cobb Parkway.
Right.
Easy
Right
Office.
south of the Big Chicken.
Right, so for any of your office furniture needs, you can contact Mr. Mike Burns at Easy Office Furniture. They've also got a Facebook page you can follow. They've got the best of the best for your office and just your personal office or your workspace, and at great prices. It's gently used office and furniture, office furniture. So anyway, so as a small business owner, Mike, you definitely feel that Trump's presidency will benefit you, and in what way? The healthcare, right? The healthcare is the main factor.
Healthcare is very important. That's a very important topic to me. Being a small business owner, I have to carry my own healthcare insurance. Prior to the enactment of the ACA, Obamacare, my family was paying about $400 a month with Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was a very good plan. We could see all the doctors we wanted to see. My youngest daughter, she has seen the same doctor since the day she was born, and my deductible was $5,000, which is manageable in case something really, really bad happened. But after Obamacare, my premium went up to over $1,000, and my deductible was $12,000.
Wow.
Which is not manageable. It really puts a strain on the family finances, and unable to provide my employees with insurance because it's so expensive, and that's hard to get good employees because a lot of them are looking for healthcare benefits.
Right. I can't even imagine, and that's a huge issue. So I like that we have a small business owner to speak on the show for those viewers out there who are young adults like myself who have not experienced anything like that firsthand, and how it really does affect a family, and it affects small businesses, which is essential to capitalism and capitalism flourishing, and which makes this nation what it is. So I was wondering about there's a common consensus of the protesters. I had a few callers on the last show, and today you told me that they weren't accomplishing anything. Now, do you remember any violent protesting against Obama in 2008 and 2012 by conservatives, or was it peaceful?
I definitely do not recall anything like that. As a conservative, I was not happy about his election, but in 2008, he had a good message, and he had both the House and the Senate. He had a mandate to get some stuff done, and I think that I think he was inexperienced as a politician and as operating a country, and I think that he really had a chance to get some good stuff done if he would have worked with the other side, but he chose just to work with just the Democrats and leave the Republicans out, and that resulted in the Tea Party, becoming popular, and then in 2010 we took over the Congress, and then 2012 we took over the Senate and basically shut down his progressive agenda.
Right. It seems, if anything, Obama maybe isn't. He should have had more skills in business, which is what we get now with Trump. We don't have the philanthropist, peace, love, and happiness Obama in office anymore. Now we want somebody who's going to take care of some business and protect our country and put our nation first. And I think people got tired of Obama telling everyone that we could save the world, but really nothing was getting done. I mean, that's a very vague way to look at it, but I don't know. And then he leaves office with this skyrocketed approval rating after basically the ACA has failed majority of Americans, including you as a small business owner. I mean, how do you feel about this relatively high approval rating? How did this happen? How did his rating spike like this? In the last month, I think it's increased by over 10%.
There's no logical explanation for that. In every, from my point of view, he's failed in almost every area that's important to us. The economy never exceeded 3% GDP. Our standing in the world, Russia's, China are all running all over us. The Iran deal is terrible. I actually think it's just, he seems like a nice guy and a nice family, and I think people feel sorry for him. And it's not anything he's done as president to gain that approval rating. I think it's just
right.
Cult of personality.
Right, and I think it was also a lot of dumb luck. After some research, it seems that he was accredited for a feat that he did not achieve, as Bill Clinton was accredited for economic prosperity because he just so happened to be the president during the boom of technology, which I don't remember, which you remember. Bill Clinton was accredited for improving the technology, but he just so happened to be president during a time of economic boom and the boom of technology. So that's what's happened with Obama. Except with Obama, it's with crime. Now, there's been a paradigm shift. There was a paradigm shift in the rate of crime and incarcerations, and it was a decrease in the number of incarcerations and rates of crime. But it was merely a paradigm shift that would happen naturally based off of history. But Obama has, I believe, received credit for this. And do you think that he took any part in lowering the rates of crime? If anything, I think he exacerbated the rates of crime by essentially supporting organizations that further divide the people, such as Black Lives Matter. What do you think about this? Do you think he was just falsely accredited for things he did not do?
I would have to agree with that statement. I don't think he's done anything to help race relations. I think he could have. I think that's another failure on his part, that he kind of leaves Trump with this very divided country racially after we've made progress for many decades.
Right, and then we have this Women's March today, which the Women's March at the Capitol, and they are supposedly marching for the inclusion of minorities, Muslims, etc. I mean, to me, these people are just wasting their energy. They're not accomplishing anything. I mean, what they're marching for, the federal government has already supported. So I think there's a lot of liberal corruption going on behind the scenes that's funding these kind of movements that further divide the people. What do you think about this Women's March today? Or the day after the inauguration?
I saw the pictures this morning, and it looked like there was a lot of people there. I'm not sure what their purpose is. I did hear that they had excluded some conservative groups of women.
Oh, wow.
That would endorse, pro-choice positions and any positions that they don't agree with. I think that's really the liberal left right now is very anti-free speech unless you agree with them. And I also saw that Ashley Judd was on stage with a microphone in her hand, making some very disturbing comments about Trump that really can't be repeated on air.
Oh no! Was it insinuating misogynistic behavior, racism, all this stuff that's totally not proven and unrelated? All the bashing that we've heard in the media.
All that plus getting personal.
and they try to say that Trump was inciting anger. Those same people try to say Trump was inciting anger when they're out violently protesting on the day of inauguration, and the day after inauguration they have this big march and they exclude people from it who support Trump. Now tell me how that's inclusion. Anyway, Mike, I really want to thank you for being on the show today, and I hope to have you back very shortly.
Okay, do I get a t-shirt?
Yes. What color?
Gray.
Gray. We don't have gray. Green, purple.
Green's good.
Okay, green is good. I agree. And
Yeah.
that leads me right into our next topic, the legalization of marijuana.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you calling in.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Katie. Bye.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up episode 2. Yeah, so the Women's March, the protest. Now, if you're really in favor of inclusion, and if you're a liberal and you're really in favor of inclusion, then why in the world are you excluding groups of conservatives? As Mike from Woodstock just stated, Trump supporter. Now, we Trump supporters, we don't want to persuade you to change your beliefs. We just want you to see that it is okay to support your nation and to stand with the people of your nation. Because united we stand, divided we fall. And, I think that this divide within the nation, exemplified by the Women's March, is just simply a ploy, and it's a setup to divide our nation even further for others' ulterior motives. And as others, I'm talking about maybe Mr. George Soros, who funded $25 million into the Hillary Clinton campaign. Anyway, that's it for today. I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. As you can see, there's rampant indoctrination upon the people by the Liberal Party that we really need to address here, and that's what we're doing. And remember, you can call in, message me about calling in, and you can tweet me at KatyFYNTV, and also email me about comments, suggestions, what you'd like to hear at Katy@fetchyournews.com. Thank you. I hope you all have a great day. See you tomorrow.